payments, fraud, liens, charge-offs, student loans. They do it all. Get results in 30 to 90 days, and it's very simple to contact them. Hit them up on their website, creditbuildingprofessionals.com, or give them a call, 678-447-2012. Once again, 678-447-2012. Tell them you heard it on Power 108.9. What up, Credit Craig?
What's up, my good people? Happy 2021. Welcome back to a new year on Power 108.9. That's right. It's the Ty North Evening Show. And tonight I'm honored to have my special guest, Christian Walden. He's an author. He's an entrepreneur. He's a wealth coach. And he has a plethora of things to share with you on tonight. He's sitting over there in the hot seat. I'm going to unleash the beast later on in the show. But tonight we're going to be talking about financial empowerment. And he's going to share his story and how he came to this role in entrepreneurship. We're going to talk about your financial vision on tonight, improving your credit, and a plethora of other things. You don't want to miss tonight's show. Why? Because you're enough. You're brave enough, and you're worth it, all right? May the spirit of innovation, entrepreneurship, and activism be our guiding light on tonight's show and for the rest of our lives. Tonight, I'm rocking Inspire. Y'all see this? See, I have to move around so you can see. Inspire. I want you to be inspired. If you want to go purchase this on tonight, I'll share that website later on in the show. When we come back, we're going to jump right in. Put on your life vest because you don't want to tread in deep waters without your life vest. That was funny. I like that. Yeah. Please like, please share, and like. You listen to the Ty North Evening Show on Power 108.9.
If you're a content creator, social media socialite, influencer, or simply love to record current events, you need the joystick. The joystick is an essential tool for every...
Yo, it's Michael McFadden for our friends over at Credit Building Professionals. You know what they do? They help their clients.
If you want to go purchase this on tonight, I'll share that.
Late payments, fraud, liens, charge-offs, student loans, they do it all. Get results in 30 to 90 days, and it's very simple to contact them. Hit them up on their website, creditbuildingprofessionals.com, or give them a call, 678-447-2012. Once again, 678-447-2012. Tell them you heard it on Power 108.9. What up, Credit Craig?
Keep up with Power 108.9 on social media.
Can I find you?
Instagram
at Power 108.9
and Facebook
at Power 108.9.
It's the exact same thing. It's at Power 108.9.
Okay.
Power 108.9, a station for the people. In a world of petty and immature people, it's refreshing to hear a morning show that has sophisticated hosts such as Michael McFadden and Jay Nash. Don't believe me? Take a listen.
But shout out to our friends over there at Credit Building Professionals. What up, Credit Craig?
I tried to come with you.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's what she said. Ooh.
Oh.
Hey.
Power 108.9, a station for the people.
Well, welcome back to the Ty North Evening Show on Power 108.9. This is a memorable moment that will go down in history because Christian is my first guest of 2021. What's up, man?
Hey, man, listen, man. I am excited. We about to bring the heat tonight.
That's what I'm talking about.
So honored to be here, man. 2020 was a year of, I tell people it was a year of learning.
Yeah.
And this year it's a year of applying what you learned, right? So it's gonna be on fire, despite the pandemic, despite what's going on in the office. you got to make your mark.
Right.
You got to make your mark, man. And we're about to make it. We're about to make it. So I'm glad to be here, Ty. Thank you so much for having me.
So let me give you a little bit of background on why Christian is sitting here, what I call like the hot seat. And he already said a mouthful that he said 2021 is a year of application. And if anybody knows me, I'm goal oriented and I believe in applying. Like even when I hear a sermon preached, I'm like, okay, let me see how I'm going to take those nuggets and apply them. Listen, Christian was one of our call-in callers. Can you say that fast? Last year. And his story of redemption, I'll call that. I must be honest with you. I don't like the word ex-convict. I'm going to just tell you right. I don't like that because I think you're who you are, not the things you've done. I would say you're an entrepreneur. That's what I would call you. I call you this leader amongst your peers and in the spheres that you're in. So anyway, you might want to change that on Instagram. Just a thought. But so anyway, I like that, brother. But he shared part of his story on our call-in call, and I was telling my assistant, I was like, he needed more time. Like, we got to get him back. So listen, tonight, I want you to share your story, and then we're going to kind of fast forward how you transition to the entrepreneurship, and you're an author. So we're going to find out where that book is, and we're going to get that as well. Talk about it.
Most definitely, man. Once again, I'm Christian Walden. The world is my office on Instagram. Founder of LaSalle Global Concepts, accidental billionaire, $1 billion roundtable. We're doing so much this year. More LLCs this year, man. More, man. Because I tell people all the time, we mean nothing to the government, but our business means everything. So entrepreneurship is key. Your boss is not going to pay you to be his neighbor. So my last 5 years of my experience, I was in a place where I've never been in trouble, and I was sent to prison. I got 7 years for being in a toxic relationship, man. So,
wow.
I've never put my hands on anyone or anything like that. I just wanted to talk. I just wanted to talk to my significant other at that time, and I got charged with false imprisonment. Never been in trouble.
Wow.
Had just got a real estate license that was revoked immediately. Sent me to prison, man. So
all in Georgia?
All in Georgia.
Okay.
All in Georgia. So the incident was in DeKalb County. And,
okay.
Here I am, 21, 22 years old, going to prison. So this is stuff I used to watch on TV.
Okay, so when you say prison, that means you're sent away from Atlanta, right?
Far.
So we're clear.
In the woods, yeah.
Okay, when that happens to you, you kind of don't get like a prep. You're not prepared for it. How did you adjust to that? Like, what happened?
Man, so of course, once the judge sentences you to your time, I was in a place where I had to do a couple of months in the county jail.
Okay.
So the county that I got sentenced in, I did my 3 months there, and then of course they sent me to diagnostics, which is Jackson State Prison.
Okay.
So any felon that goes through the prison system, whether it be Brian Nichols or anyone that's actually went to prison, they have to go through that for diagnostics, get their blood drawn, get their IQ testing done, and then they send you off to a permanent camp.
Does that determine where you go?
Yes.
Based on that? Okay.
Yes, so now your crime pretty much determines if you're going to go to a private prison or a level 2 or level 5, depending on your crime. But of course, my crime was nonviolent. So, of course, the judge had it out for me, sentenced me to 7 years. By the grace of God, I did 2.5 years. So
when you say that you made a statement about the government is not your friend or something, I need to write that down, please, so I can remember that. Say that again.
So I tell people, I tell my mentees, I tell everyone I talk to, my best friend Natalia, she's actually here with us tonight. I would literally be in a store. Like I think the last time I even let this out, I was in IKEA getting stuff for the house. And I was like, I looked at the guy. He was like, man, I can't even take a lunch break. I said, you want to fire your boss?
Ooh.
He's like, what you mean? What you mean fire my boss? I'm like, yo, this corporation, man. Like, the government, write this down. The government cares nothing about you. They only care about your business. And that's why having an LLC gets you bigger tax breaks.
Yes.
It gets you write-offs. You
I'm
can
a
write
witness.
You can write lunch meetings off, dinner meetings. You can pretty much write everything off. So spending that $100 to get an LLC can completely change your life in ways that you can't even imagine, right? So I'm
trying to calm down. I'm overwhelmed because that's true.
Yes.
And sometimes in our, first of all, I'm proud. I'm a proud black man. Proud.
Most definitely.
I don't know why we'll go by, and I can't even pronounce it good. And I do go to Phipps. I'm not in that tax bracket, but I do shop at Phipps occasionally. Most times it's for a gift card from somebody. So I don't even want to front like that. But I went in there. I actually went there this Saturday. I went to Saks, and it was full of people buying stuff.
Stimulus.
Even in this, like, to your point, you could have taken $100 of that. And I have a best friend. In Chicago. We go back. We stay up to like 2 and 3 in the morning, talking about life and social economics and things. And I am of the persuasion that you can't tell anybody what to do with their money. But how can you bark that I want a better life and you don't do anything? You said you had just completed your real estate life and then they sent you away. What happened with that real estate besides it being?
So I've always wanted, even with me, because I went to college for fashion marketing and management, right?
And you look
Right.
fly tonight.
So
yeah.
I went to SCAD, graduated, got a degree, got a
Okay.
bachelor's in fashion design, minored in
Okay.
fashion marketing and management, and I've always wanted multiple streams of income.
Right.
So it wasn't just going to be fashion design, right? Because things like the pandemic happened, and guess what? My second collection, I couldn't even release it last year because
Wow.
I'm releasing $400 or $500 jeans, $200 shirts. So I was in a position where I was like, hey, let me get something else under my belt. I flew to New York, took my real estate exam, passed it the first time, and I wanted to sell in New York because real estate sells itself.
Listen.
It sells itself,
A
right?
1.5 million condo at 300 square feet.
Yes,
in
yes.
Chelsea. Right. Okay, and so you wanted to have multiple streams of income. How did you keep from being discouraged when you got sentenced and was sent away? Did you have a support group? Did you have faith? What was that?
I actually wrote this in my first book. I had knowledge over faith.
Oh, now that's real good because we're going to unpack that. Go.
I had, so, I always talk about faith versus knowledge. And, you can, a lot of people like to swing that faith word around, and I'm not denouncing that, right? So I don't want you guys to hate me for what I'm about to say.
Okay.
But I don't believe that God is going to make something happen. I know he's going to make it happen. And knowing is intimacy.
Oh, my.
I know it's going to happen, right?
Woo!
It's not, I believe I'm going to get out.
Because that's a different,
Yes,
that's
most definitely.
belief. Go ahead.
Most definitely. So, that was what got me through, the 2.5 years that I did on the 7 years. Every day I just turned that negative into a positive. I started to write. My timeline for spiritual architecture, my first book, was 1 year. And I was so locked in it was just me and God. I finished it in 2 months.
Where can people find that?
Barnes and Noble, Amazon,
Wow.
any bookstore you walk in, you can
Did you
find it.
self-publish or you use the publisher?
I went through a publisher.
Okay,
so
perfect. 'Cause
I
people
got
ask that.
I got turned down by 3 publishers, of course, because not that they didn't like the content, it's just not what they release. So I wrote a spiritual book.
Yeah.
Right. So I got picked up by a company called Zulon Press out in
Yeah,
Florida.
they're well known. Mhm.
Most definitely. And
It starts with an X, y'all.
yes.
Not Z. Go ahead.
So they picked me up, and we did 75,000 copies our first year. I was behind prison walls. So major accomplishment.
Where did that money go? You know what I mean? Like, was there a person on the other side that it went into an account when you got out, or what?
Oh yeah, so
Okay.
all my royalties, of course, my family, my mom,
Okay.
All that went into an account, and I was able to
Yeah.
take
'Cause
that.
that's important.
And I tell people all the time, those are royalties for the rest of my life, so that's another stream of income. So it's just multiple streams.
I'm very few times I'm at a loss for words, but it's so much I need to dissect and stuff. You need to create a spend the day with Christian Walden for mentees. Now, talk about the boldness that you have to say to someone that's working with at a job. Particularly, you mentioned the IKEA story.
Yes.
And you say, hey, would you like to fire your boss and blah, 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 blah. Because that can mean a lot of things, and it don't always be on the up and up. So what happened when you did that?
I've done it so many times, man. Natalia's probably laughing at me.
I'm laughing.
I've done it multiple, and you know why? Because like my clothing line, right? God's in the flesh. We're all made in God's image. So Not saying don't go get a corporate job, right? Because my corporate job paid me $160 a year, and I was 21 years old making great money, right? I learned a lot, but I learned what not to do in business.
That's good.
So Christian's not telling you don't go learn the principles, but don't stay there. So work your 9 to 5, but when you get home, work your 6 to 12.
That's what you're saying. I love that.
Most definitely.
Okay, you wrote this book Behind Bars. Now I haven't served in jail or prison, but I've heard atrocities. How did you? I'm not saying you're saying that it wasn't hard, but you appeared that you were able to navigate those 2 years and get out. So, how can you share some of that? Like,
Yes.
how were you able to stay out of trouble and so forth?
Trouble finds you in prison, even if you don't want to be.
Yeah.
Immerse yourself in it.
So let me ask you this: so that's inevitable? You're gonna have to either fight or
Yes.
something. Okay.
So it's so much different in the county jail. You know, I correlated to a violent college campus for men.
Wow.
You know, because you still have guys going to get their GEDs. You still have guys going to the chaplain. You have guys going to the chapel. You have guys going to the library. And in walking, you may just get stabbed. You know, I was stabbed twice in prison. I wasn't even a part of the situation. It was just a gang war. And that completely changed my life. You know, being not even going to prison, just
In
being
what
stabbed.
way? Being stabbed changed your life in what way?
So it woke me up. I was like, look, I started to not question God, but I started to say, man, I really got purpose because I could have died.
Wow.
And it opened my eyes, man. I was in the infirmary for 3 days because I had metal broken off of my body. They had to drain it out. That turned into staph infection. They were going to ship me to Augusta State Medical Prison because I was almost dead. You know, the staph was bad in my body and it was spreading.
And for those that don't know, the infirmary is the medical doctor.
It's the medical
part.
hospital,
Okay.
yes.
I really got from that too was you have to use your fear in a different way. If you're fearful of what could happen, it probably will. Like, to me, if you're fearful, other people can smell that, and that can be your cage. But you used it kind of like a springboard. Does that make sense?
I used it as my sanctuary.
Oh, that's good.
I
Don't
use-
y'all? Is anybody else getting saved tonight but me?
Hey, man.
Talk about that. That's
and-
important. Like, now I'm gonna say this because hold that thought. I gotta set it up because people look at Instagrams and social media platforms, particularly people in Atlanta, like, "Ooh, he down there, woo, 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 woo." But you almost lost your life.
Yeah.
That ain't no turn up.
Yeah.
So, say what your faith. What that was again. Your faith.
It was so my
Your
of course-
sanctuary. Thank
yeah.
you.
So the prison cell, of course, 23 hours a day in the cell, 1 hour out. So it was that spiritual vacation from myself and God. See, God removed me from a situation I couldn't remove myself from. See, a lot of us are in situations that they're so toxic that we're it's like a cult. We're stuck in it. We're stuck in it, right? So I had to come to the realization, had I stayed in that relationship, I probably could have been dead. She could have died. Like, not wishing that, right? But it could have been the situation because it was just so toxic. Situations are not good when you don't love yourself. See, I didn't love myself fully, right? And I had God wanted me to take over. He wanted me to empower people all over the planet. But I had to have that away, that alone time with God. So he said, look, I'm not going to send you to your grave because I need you still breathing. I'm going to just put you in a cell. So now you got to put your eyes on me full time.
We haven't even got to LaSalle group. But
I'm having fun, man.
I'm glad because we need to stop and park a little bit. We need to park. We have to park because that is so true. When you're we're going to take a break. I don't want to take a break, but we got to pay some bills. Okay, good. We don't take a break yet. You're right. I get so many DMs and people either trying to talk to you or holler at you or whatever. But you're right. When you don't love yourself and people was like, he did this, she did that, but that was you. Talk about how you grew past that toxic stuff in your life. I can't even get my words out, and I'm a BA English major.
I was actually in a Clubhouse group yesterday, myself, Natalia, a few of us, and I was saying that.
That's a new
lot-
platform, y'all, social media
Clubhouse.
platform.
If you have an iPhone, go ahead and snatch that.
Oh, God, that's another thing to add to my phone.
Get that Clubhouse, man.
Everybody's saying, okay, so you were in there, so y'all go get that app. That's another social media. What is the purpose of it?
It's pretty much putting you in a room with people that you won't be able to speak to ever, right? So I can be in a room with let's say Meek Mill. I'm a huge fan of Meek Mill.
Really?
Not because of his music, but because we have the same story.
Same story, yeah.
A black judge sent me to prison. She
Yeah.
baptized us. So, and you know, it's still to this day, you know, it's still a fight because, you know, I relate to him. So Clubhouse puts you in those rooms with people you wouldn't normally be able to speak to. So
And
I
it's
may be
all for the betterment and empowerment.
Yes, so you can be in a wealth building room with
Nice.
with top income earners in the world. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So Grant Cardone, I mean, literally.
Tell
we're in
us who
these
that
rooms.
is.
Grant Cardone, man, he's I consider him one of my mentors. He doesn't even know it.
He
and you
is
know,
now.
we're definitely going to get to that topic when talking about building wealth.
Yeah.
My new wealth building mentorship that I'm doing, you know, mostly for, you know, our community. And it's not being biased, but our community is brainwashed to,
Yes.
you know, knowing that they really can accumulate wealth through insurance, through credit. You know what I mean? So we're going to get there, man. I don't want to talk too much.
We're going to get there. And now, and we were trying to talk about Clubhouse and the reason why we're in there. And this is my show, so we can go with every direction we want to go. But you're right about the purpose. Part of the purpose of good credit is it lowers your interest, the amount you pay on interest, which keeps money in your pocket.
Yes.
And like if you're paying 11% interest or 4% interest, that's a big difference.
Huge.
You know, and you could be using that $80 to $100 on something else. We're gonna take a break because now I need a break. This brother, good Lord, today. Listen, when we come back, we're gonna talk about LaSalle, your group, your financial group. Listen, this is the Ty North Evening Show on Power 108.9. If you want to ask Christian some specific questions, we're gonna put the number up so y'all can find it. Okay, call in. Let us know if you have any specific questions for him, and don't be asking for no hookup. Come to him like a professional. This is the Ty North Evening Show on Power 108.9.
It's tax time, ladies and gentlemen, and this year, Mills Financial Group has some amazing programs for all of us, especially, though, if you're a truck driver, contract worker, real estate professional, and definitely those that are self-employed. Now, Mills Financial will get you the maximum refund you deserve. We're talking cash advances up to $9,500 in just 1 hour. Want to get started? Give them a call, 877-634-6299. Now, Mills Financial Group has several locations across the United States of America, including Philly, New Orleans, and our favorite location, the Battery, Atlanta, home of the Atlanta Braves, making tax season that much easier for you. Call them, 877-634-6299. Now, 2020 was tough, and Mills Financial Group wants to help you get what you deserve during tax season. Hit them up, 877-634-6299, or visit the website Mills Financial Group. That's MILLZ financialgroup.com. They got your back.
Keep up with Power 108.9 on social media.
Can I find you?
Instagram
At Power 108.9.
and Facebook.
At Power 108.9.
It's the exact same thing. It's at Power 108.9.
Okay.
Power 108.9, a station for the people. The team here at Power 108.9 want to strongly encourage everyone to continue to practice social distancing and wearing a mask while in public. Let's all work together to stop the spread of COVID-19 this holiday season. And if by chance you're in public and you hear someone talking like this,
I can't see in this thing. I can't breathe in this thing and I can't ride in this thing.
stop and just go the other way. Power 108.9, a station for the people.
Welcome back to the Titan North Evening Show on Power 108.9. I've got Christian. Is your middle name LaSalle?
LaSalle, you pronounced it right.
Wow, Walden. He is retired from corporate America. He's a best-selling author. He's a serial investor and a wealth coach. I don't know if y'all heard the first part of this interview, but this brother is bad. He's like Kanye Pepper. He's fire. But I really appreciate his authenticity, his transparency. Cayenne pepper. Y'all cook out there? If not, you need to go to the grocery store down the season. Listen, Christian, we're going to jump into LaSalle Global Concepts, and you're going to take us through step by step how if someone wants to work with you in creating a better financial vision. That's our theme. Better financial vision. If this is you, if you know somebody that is saying, I just want to get my life together, I think when your financial house is in order, it really spills over into it spills over into your romantic life, into your personal life. It just, when it's in order, it really helps out. Okay, walk us through how you founded it and everything else. Go.
Boom. Woo! 2018, I was released from prison, February 6th to be exact. 2020, I started my financial literacy career. I would say my walk. Of course, I released a successful book, released a successful brand with my clothing. As soon as I got out of prison, I was just tunnel vision.
Let me ask you, who was your clothing line geared to? Was it young hip? Who
So
was your market?
So Gods in the Flesh is considered luxury urban, so
Okay.
it could be worn anywhere. It could be worn to a 5-star dinner. It could be worn to church. It could be worn to the gym. See what I'm saying? So mixing those fabrics would allow you to literally just say, hey, I'm going to throw this on. But my biggest message behind what I create is getting people to see the greatness within themselves by communicating through statement clothing. So if you see one of my one of my jackets that have distress.
Is that one of yours?
No. This is somebody else that I
Okay.
support. It's called Denim and Flower. But,
Okay.
my clothing, right, if you see the distress with the holes and the blood stains, those are like battle wounds. You know
We
what I'm
like
saying?
that.
So communicating that message, man, and helping people just be empowered. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
it's more than just a brand. It's a movement. It's confidence, and it's knowing that you're here for a reason. It's purpose.
How important is confidence when you're coming from disappointments like a failed relationship, a toxic relationship that really could have took your life literally, and then going into the penal system? How important is confidence? And then tell me how important it is, and then I want you to give me the difference between confidence and arrogance.
Whew.
Or are they twins?
No. They're complete opposites. They're complete opposites, right? So if you literally will look at a dictionary and look up arrogance, and then go look up confidence. Of course, arrogance is, I guess people would use the word cocky, or with confidence, you just have posture. So when I approach someone and I have confidence, they're going to feel that energy. They're like, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about, right? He's confident about what he's talking about, right? But arrogance is just being boastful, bragging about what you have. When the wealth are quiet, the poor,
Very quiet.
the poor are flashy, right? So we've seen this saying on social media. A lot of people they're getting the Lambos, they're renting the Lambo, right? But they don't have the money to put the gas in the car, but they're posting it on Instagram to let the world know I got a Lambo. But see, Jeff Bezos hit 10 billion and had a Honda.
Where he at?
Jeff Bezos is on the moon, man.
Right.
He's doing some moon exploration, man. So, of
So
course,
2018.
I came home.
Okay.
Launched the clothing line. Of course, the first book had launched in 2016. We were doing well.
Behind the bars.
Behind bars, man.
Wow.
Behind
I'm trying to
bars.
do that, but not behind bars. But go ahead.
Nah, man, but
Yeah.
you know what? A lot of people can go into an isolation. It doesn't have to be prison. Do not go to prison. All right.
Right.
No, I'm not telling you to go to prison. Don't get in
Yeah,
trouble.
yeah.
But you can isolate yourself and have that one-on-one time with God. Go in your home and create your own war room. It could be a corner of your home. It could be your closet. It could be I don't care what it is. Create that space, that sanctuary, right?
I love that.
So that you have that alone time. See, we give people and relationships and business, partnerships so much of our energy and our time, and we just completely turn our back on God. But see, when he sends the wrath, that's when we want to get on our knees and pray. See, you got to be full time with this thing. full time. And I tell people that I waited till I got to prison and I was seeking God. I'm like, and guess what? Stuff started happening. I started getting into fights that I weren't trying to get into. I got stabbed. And I'm like, God, man, what are you showing me?
Do you know how to fight?
I do. Hey, so going into it, I had an old guy. He was on his 47th year. He said, I'm never getting out. He said, Youngin, I see you got an amazing heart. I had the support from the outside, so I had food. I had money on my books.
Okay.
Time on the phone, right? He said, you being passive in a predatory environment that day, it was a shift. He said, you being passive in a predatory environment, meaning you can't say yes to everybody. Like, of course, I'm in a position where if I see that you're hungry, I'm a feed you, right?
Ain't that something? But
right, right. So I only know the walks of Jesus, man. So I'm in a position, if I can feed you, I don't need all this food to myself, right? He said, yo, you can't be like that, yo. So I switched. And I had a guy literally in my dorm walk up to me and was like, yo, meet me in the mop closet in 5 minutes. I want to see what your hands look like. If you say no to that, I'm in a position now where I'm considered a victim. Mm-hmm. And it's no turning back from that.
Yeah.
So, of course, I'm like, okay, cool. Mm-hmm. All right. So, prison turned into 4 fights. I got stabbed twice. That, of course, 5 times I got into altercations, man. But it just molded me into a better person. It helped me reflect more. And I saw after that stab that I was really here. I'm meant to be here for some time. It's some work I need to do, and shine and help shine the light of God through others, man. So
I really like what you said, and I think that's the verbiage also for people that are entering entrepreneurship, and particularly like you have established the LaSalle Global Concepts, is you can't be passive in a predatory environment. No. Talk about that from an entrepreneur viewpoint.
So in business, okay, number one, I mentioned posture. Uh-huh. Number 2, when you go into a situation where you have a team, say you have a team of 20 individuals and you're at the top of that pyramid, right? Mm-hmm. We always talk about pyramids and how entrepreneurship creates your own pyramid, mm-hmm. right? You have to be assertive with your team because they feel like they can get over. Mm-hmm. It's not being an a-hole. It's not being, arrogant, whatever it is. You just want to make sure you're firm, you're assertive, mm-hmm. because you don't want anyone. People try to infiltrate. People try to take advantage of you being kind. Kindness gets taken for weakness every day, right? So,
listen, Christian, I hate to cut. Okay, hold on. I thought we had a car. Keep going. Kindness is taken for weakness every day.
Every day. Every day. You know why? Because, just like I stated, you have to.
I love that.
Being assertive, man, I've learned that because I was always being taken advantage of before my prison sentence because I would just be.
Me too.
Because you have that heart of gold, right?
You be like, I thought we all trying to come up, and I thought we all trying to pull each other up. We are, but everybody ain't trying to do it with authenticity like you.
You can't. Everybody can't go to the top with you. You got to leave some.
Yeah. Okay, LaSalle Global Concepts. So what do you all offer?
Wealth coaching. We offer business consulting. Mm-hmm. We also offer, of course, mentorship, and getting you on the path to financial freedom. I also help designers, create their brand. I help authors write their books. I'm a ghostwriter as well.
Nice.
So, I have a lot of people come to me and say, hey, I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to writing a book. I can write a paragraph, right? So I say, hey, man, give me your story. Sit down. Let's sit down 4, 5, 6 hours, and I can just ghostwrite your story. Right. Nice. So, LaSalle Global Concepts is the umbrella. Of course, I have Gods in the Flesh.
The clothing line.
Yes. And I have Accidental Billionaire, of course, for.
What is that?
Accidental Billionaire, man. So I feel like 100,000 can turn into 7 figures if you know how to invest it. And 7 figures can turn into 8, 9 figers. And we call it a billion by accident. All right. It's a billion by accident.
I'm trying to be in that group.
Yeah.
Where y'all meet? No, right. So how you talked about someone while you were behind bars. Is that the right verbiage? I hate saying it. I have to say it. While you were in prison.
Yeah.
That saw you and didn't take advantage of that, but kind of mentored and instructed you. How did you know you could trust that individual?
So when you become in tune with yourself, it didn't take that long with me being in prison. Now, to accept the fact that I just wasn't going to go home for 7 years, because you got to understand, I'm thinking I'm going to do 7 years.
Right.
I go in at 22, I'm thinking I'm not going to get out till 29, going on 30.
Yeah.
So it took me literally a few weeks to really just start to get in tune with myself. I start reading books, and when you're in tune with yourself, no one can get over on you because you literally know.
You know who you are.
There's a saying I have it tattooed on me. If you seek to understand the whole universe, you understand nothing at all. But if you seek only to understand yourself, you understand the whole universe.
Did y'all hear that? That's good. Okay, so then how did he mentor you in other ways? Like
Working out.
Okay.
We worked out twice a day together. I went in 145 pounds.
You was
stick
skinty.
figure, came out
Yee.
220 pounds.
Bless the Lord.
Yes, man. So I was just literally, and I had this glow, man. I was happy. Of course I wanted to go home,
Right,
man. You know,
right.
my family was hurting. They were doing a time with me, but working out, writing books. I read over 300 books in prison. I got a whole college education again. You see what I'm saying? On steroids, because see, not saying school isn't good, right? Same thing I said about corporate America.
Talk
but
about it.
I got a 4-year degree. But guess what? I went to prison and got so much knowledge. I've got trillions of dollars worth of knowledge, but it was one thing for me to just read it. See, knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power.
Listen, right with that statement, we have our first caller. Somebody's calling in. Who's on the line? Charlem?
Hello.
Hey, Charlem! She's calling all the way from Chicago.
Chi-Town, talk to me.
West Side. No, I just have a quick question. I won't be on here long. I'm enjoying the show. It's really, really good. So as a financial literacy expert, I wanted to know how much money and assets is considered riches versus wealth. I know that wealth can be a mindset. I understand that perspective. But when it comes to actual zeros in the bank, what's the difference between riches and wealth?
Great question.
So that was an amazing question, actually. Thank you so much for calling in. So rich is temporary. And I want you to write this down, or if you have your notes section on your phone. Rich is temporary, all right? Wealth is assets forever. That's when your money is working for you. So wealth can be a million. Wealth can be 10 million. It could be a billion, right? But a lot of people are millionaires, but they're still having to work for their income. Once your income starts to work for itself, that's when you have accumulated wealth. Through insurance policies, through stocks and options, through ETFs, through buying gold, right? A lot of us, especially in our community, we're looking for a quick return on investment. So we want to invest today, and next week we want 500% on top of that, right? But see, gentlemen like Warren Buffett, one intelligent investor, completely changed my life. That book written by Benjamin Graham showed you the patient and intelligent investor always wins. So listen, to answer your question, riches are temporary, wealth is eternal. It's everlasting. It's never going to stop.
And you did say that 1 million or 10 million can be wealth.
Yes.
So those were from his perspective, the zeros behind all of those. I really like how you said assets are forever. And so you attribute that to wealth.
Assets are definitely wealth.
That's perfect. And then you gave examples of stock options, ETFs. Tell us what ETFs are.
So options. So you have as far as stocks and options, right? A lot of the times when you're dealing with options, you have so with stocks, like if I were to invest in cannabis or pharmaceutical stock, right? I would literally make that a long-term investment because I see the growth. Now something like Apple, right? Or Walmart, right? We're about to go into a pandemic. I'm going to invest that as an option. I know I'm going to put 100,000 into it, and in probably about 2 months I can pull 300,000. So options move faster than the stock industry does.
That's true. I don't know all of that, but I know that you can invest in stocks or you can invest in options.
Yes.
Right. Listen, y'all I hope y'all follow him. Tell them where they can find. Give them LaSalle Global Concepts.
Okay, so on Instagram, if you have an Instagram, follow me at the world with 2 D's, WORLDD is my office.
I like
Let's
that.
connect on here. It is, man. Ty, the world is it is our office, man. You have that location freedom, you have that time freedom, and that was the biggest reason for me leaving corporate America back in 2015, right before I went to prison. I was trading 70 hours for $160,000 a year.
What industry were you in?
I was actually working for AT&T. Everyone knows that industry. So I wasn't just selling phones. I was selling home automation. I was selling
You
that
was in
stuff.
it to win it. Do you remember getting some? Do we have another caller? Oh, we have another question. Who's on the line? State your name and your question to Christian.
Hi, this is Gina, and
Hey, Gina.
I just recently graduated from college, and I want to know if there's any tips on how I can tackle my student loans and other credit debt. My goal is to purchase like a house in the next 3 years, so I'm just trying to prepare now and get a handle on it.
Great question.
And what's your name again? I'm sorry.
It's Gina.
Gina.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Like I was, telling Ty, I don't know if you've been listening the whole time. I don't knock college. I went to, school for, design and became a successful fashion designer. What I can tell you is don't rush to buy a home. You want to dump your money into investments. And I know we got a little bit more time. I'm going to talk about dumping your accounts and emptying your checking and your savings account. People looking, I learned this from Grant Cardone and Natalia. We implemented this strategy is dumping your accounts. Stop leaving money in a checking account and a savings account. It's not accumulating any interest. You can put 100,000 in a checking account and in 10 years it's going to be 100,000. You're not going to make any money. So I dump my checking, I dump my savings into stocks, options, right? And with your credit, as far as student loans, I want you to contact me because guess what? Equifax, TransUnion, Experian are not government entities. They're paid to put negative items on your credit report, all right? So if it's written as a collection, it can be removed. All right. So definitely connect with me. The world is my office, and I would love to speak with you and help you, get maintain and get to that financial future.
Create a financial vision for yourself, Gina. And I think she's at a great place, having just been a recent college graduate.
Yes, most definitely.
I have a bachelor's degree as well. And I will say that the only thing I think a degree does is give you options in life, unless it's a terminal degree. I don't even know if I'm using the right verbiage. Unless you're a doctor, an attorney, an accountant, and then you still got to take the, where do they take that test where they can be certified? CPA, thank you. So
Welcome back.
Clearly I'm not an accountant, but I agree with you that I really like your answer to that too. Gina, you need to connect with him and tell all your friends too. Okay, what's a serial investor?
Serial investor is when you're invested in multiple things at once.
That sounds like you.
So serial investor is just multiple. So people say 7, I want 90, I want 100. Let me tell you why, because I want generations 10, 20, 30 generations down, like the Rockefellers, they have their own bank. They don't have to go get a loan. They don't need credit, right? So that's what I'm trying to build for my future family. I'm not doing this for Christian. It's not for me.
Do you think blacks and the African American community have been systematically locked out of wealth or opportunities?
No.
Okay, why?
Because it's an option. You have a choice. See, you cannot help where you came from, but you can help where you're going. So
you stated that the judge kind of acrimoniously sentenced you.
African American judge.
African American judge. So it ain't always a white judge. So I do want to throw that out there because some of us be clowning.
Yeah.
But you had no control over her decision. So that wasn't something you could control. You know what I mean? So when you say we have options, you didn't have an option in that instance. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, well, as far as the time goes, I was given a plea deal. So
I don't know what that means.
a plea deal is pretty much saying, hey, we're going to offer you 5 years. I said, no, I'm not taking 5 years. So what happened is now I'm a young black man on trial.
Oh.
So a lot of our brothers and our sisters, they plea out to certain
You plead
things.
to a lesser charge?
They plea and pretty much say, hey, I'm guilty. I'm going to take this time.
Ooh.
I said, no, I'm not pleading out to this. Of course, I just wanted to talk. I held someone against their will, but you're trying to give me 5 years? That's a common level misdemeanor. It happens every day.
Right.
We tell our kids, go in timeout. That's kidnapping.
Ooh.
If you send your kid in a room and say, no, you go to timeout, you close the door, you just kidnap that kid. And there's no statute of limitations for that.
Wow.
So I had a jury decide my fate. So yes, it was whites, it was foreign, and it was black on my jury panel. So 12 people decided my fate. So I call it 13 and a half. It's 12 jurors, 1 judge, and a half chance you're going to make it out.
Who is this guy? Somebody come get him. 13 and a half.
13
Come on,
and a half,
somebody.
man. It's serious.
You're really serious about clearly what you do, what you believe, and what you value. How important is what you value predicent on your financial future?
I just want the best for everyone around me.
But I
And-
mean, if somebody wants to improve their financial life, how important is what they value? Because if they value, I can't even, how you pronounce it? Christian
LaSalle.
No, not you. The shoes.
Oh, Louboutin.
Yeah, I can never say that.
Siri, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Siri. Say it again. I can never say that.
It's Christian Louboutin.
If you value those over, like she values a house, Gina. That was a good example.
Over an asset, though.
Okay,
A house is not always an asset,
I agree.
depending on how you invest in the
And
house.
I'm a homeowner.
And of course, if buy a home, me at 27, I'm not worried about buying a home. I'm worried about accumulating as many assets.
But do you live in an expensive apartment in Midtown?
Yes, so
See?
I'm blowing rent, right? I'm
Just
gonna
keep it
raise my
real,
hand.
right?
I'm blowing rent, all right, and I'm paying a property management company to maintain that property,
Right.
And I'm not seeing the return on my investment,
Right.
right? So now, yes, and I'm so caught up in that. I would say that's one of my only cons. I'm so
Okay.
caught up because
That's fair.
I love to win and I love to live in the air. I don't. You see what I'm saying?
You on the top floor?
No,
Yeah.
not the
Okay.
not the penthouse.
Okay.
Not the penthouse. Not yet.
I'm just asking.
We working on it though.
Okay.
We working on it.
Because those are going just if you got 400,000 or
Sheesh.
500,000 in Midtown in Atlantic Station, I think, or 1 point something, the new one they're building. Listen, we've got to unpack because we got to close. Go. We need to unpack. If they want to work with you, where should someone start if they want to work with you, like Gina?
I'll definitely
Without giving away all your
I would definitely start with the wealth building mentorship program.
Okay. How long is that? What does that look like? Is there an investment? Don't tell us how much the investment. Just say, is there an investment? With that?
Yes, it's an investment to get started. It's on the time is at your discretion. So if you need it for 6 months, that's completely fine. It's month to month.
Oh, it is. Okay.
If you need it, yeah. So I don't lock you in. Hey, you got to do this for 12 months. And then of course we're going to also be working on a class as well that we can actually put out there. So that's something else that's coming in 2021. But for now, it's going to be that one-on-one coaching. A lot of the times, people want that one-on-one coaching. They don't just want to be in a position where they're like, "Hey, I see this guy on a YouTube video or a podcast." They'll get that one-on-one from you.
When we come, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I want you to talk about applied knowledge, not just get knowledge. And when we come back, we're going to close the show with what we do on the Ty North Evening Show called On the Fly with Ty. You think you bad, but I'm finna come for you, Christian.
Let's get it.
You don't want nothing
Let's
from
do
this
it.
brother. I'm telling you.
question. Do you really know what's going on in the metro Atlanta real estate market?
I own half of Atlanta. You believe that? Real estate.
Team Todd Realty Group. Atlanta has become a hotbed for real estate, and it's consistently growing by the day. Nikita Todd and the good folks with Team Todd Realty Group are here to assist you with any of your real estate needs. Looking to buy a house?
What I would tell a first-time home buyer is to make sure that you have saved adequately.
Thinking about that investment property?
Reach out to me because, of course, I have a lot of resources.
Or trying to sell your house?
It's always best to consult with your realtor first. We have options to get your house on the market as quickly as possible. And we also have other options to where you can purchase with cash and sell your home later. So it's always best to consult a realtor because we have a lot of tricks of the trade that not everybody's privy to.
Don't wait another minute. Go to www.teamtoddrealty.com for more information. Team Todd Realty Group. Keep up with Power 108.9 on social media.
How can I find you?
Instagram.
At Power 108.9.
And Facebook.
At Power 108.9.
It's the exact same thing. It's at Power 108.9. Power 108.9, a station for the people.
Welcome back to the Todd North Evening Show on Power 108.9. Listen, remember to like and to share and to like. And we've had two amazing call-ins. Right now, we're going to talk to Christian. We're almost at the end of the show, and I'm getting nervous because I really don't want to end because, brother, you've shared so much knowledge. You've inspired us and you've informed us, but I'm going to get you. First of all, I want you to answer why 2021, how can people apply some of the concepts? If they don't call you, if they don't work with you, what is something they can do to apply the knowledge that you've shared on tonight?
The books that you've read, and I'm speaking to not only my mentees, I'm speaking to anyone that's not connected to me. The books that you've read, everything that you've read, if you have to read it again, focus on taking that what you've read, whether it's an investment book, and opening up your first interest-bearing account. Like action, take that action. If you learn
interest-bearing what?
Interest-bearing account. So it's sort of like
not a checking account.
Not a checking account.
Okay.
So like me myself, I have two interest-bearing accounts through one through Fidelity and one through Navy Federal.
Nice.
And if I put $10,000 in that account, over time, it's going to accumulate interest, right? Now that money's making money.
What's the lowest someone could put in an interest-bearing account?
Typically $5,000.
Most black people don't have $5,000.
And I, but you know what though? They don't have $5,000. You know why?
Right.
Because they're blowing it on liabilities.
Like Christian, the name I can't pronounce.
Don't go to
Saks and Phipps.
I took a small investment and got an LLC, and it's become an empire loading. And you just have to, and that's the thing, you can't look for instant gratification. It takes time to accumulate wealth. If you want to be rich, cool. If you want the Lambo and the bust down Rolexes, you want that, that's completely fine. But that's not wealth.
That's not wealth.
It's not.
Nor is that riches. That's stuff. Okay, let's do On the Fly with Ty. I'm going to give you 5 different phrases, and you give me the first phrase that comes to your mind, okay? You can't stutter.
5 different words?
I'm going to give you 5 different words and or phrases.
Got you.
And then you give me the first phrase or word that comes to your mind, okay?
Okay.
Don't be asking me no more rules. It is what it is. All right, here we go. Mass incarceration. See? Ha! You don't want none of this.
Is this my own phrase or is this?
It's your own phrase. Whatever comes to your mind, what you feel about it. Let's move to this. If you were president for the day, what would be the first thing that you would do?
The first thing I would do, being president for one day.
Uh-huh. You only got one day, 24 hours.
One day.
What would you do?
I would issue out $1 million stimulus insurance policy, not cash.
To who?
To every single American.
Okay.
Every single American, I would issue a $1 million whole life insurance policy to every American.
That's pretty dope. You want to come back to mass incarceration, or are you still stuck?
I'm stuck on that.
Let's
go back to that's the
let's do wealth building. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? Wealth building.
Wealth building comes from applied knowledge.
Applied knowledge. Okay.
That's my favorite. I think that's my favorite 2 words this year. Applied knowledge. Because we always talk about knowledge is power, right? So
yeah. Okay. Spirituality versus religion.
Spirituality is when you're connected to your higher being. Religion is man-made.
Okay. Sanitary.
I'm OCD, so this is dope. Cleanliness is next to godliness.
No, come on. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I have to use the sanitary in the phrase.
No, you don't. You did. That was
Cleanliness is next to godliness, man. Keep your space in order.
Okay. This is a fun one. Chick-fil-A or McDonald's?
Whew, that Polynesian. That Chick-fil-A sauce. Chick-fil-A, man, most definitely.
Do you shop at the dollar store or Family Dollar?
Family Dollar.
Dollar General or Kroger?
Kroger.
Okay, this is the last one.
Come on.
Mass incarceration.
Systematic behavior.
Love it.
Turns into mass incarceration.
Love that. Let's give it. Okay, keep going.
Listen, there's a direct correlation between public schools and prisons.
There is.
Do your homework. Go to YouTube and look up the correlation between public schools and prisons.
There is.
And they train you for that.
Let's give him a round of applause. You did pretty good. We're going to give you a B-. You have to study a little bit more. You got some more books to read. Where can, we've talked about it, but people may have just been tuning in. Where's the most used social media handle that people can find you immediately? Instagram?
Instagram.
Okay, share what your handle is.
The World, with 2 D's in world.
Nice.
WORLDD is my office. The World is my office. Follow me, connect with me. Let's take everything you're doing to the next level. I don't care if it's a business, I don't care if it's spiritual, whatever it is. If you just need someone to talk to, I could be your mentor. All right, so
what do you think your superpower is?
I really no. This is serious. I really think I've tapped into a higher brain capacity, man.
You have.
Yes, that was always a prayer. I watched this one movie. It was called Lucy, and she was using 100% of her brain capacity, so she controlled everything. And the average human uses anywhere between 8 to 10% of their brain capacity. So think about if you get to 20-25%, you're unstoppable.
What you can be doing?
Yes.
What do you think your life will look like in 5 years? It don't have to be that, but what do you envision it being?
Well, in 3, I'm going to give you 5.
Nice.
In 3 years, I'll be retired. I have set to retire by 30 from everything. I want to just sail the Mediterranean on a yacht with my family, my loved ones, my business colleagues. And then by 32, that'll be my 5-year mark. I plan to own at least 50 properties, with those being residential and commercial real estate. I plan to also be a 9-figure earner. So I plan to be a billionaire in the next 5 years.
Wow. Well, listen, Christian, we want to thank you for being our guest tonight on the Ty North Evening Show.
Thank you so
provided so much information. You know what? You did both information and inspiration. I hope you felt inspired on tonight. My name is Ty Norris. Tonight was awesome. You can follow me on Instagram at Ty Norris, TYNORZ. Shout out to our sponsor, Inspire LLC, Dr. Jade Norris from California, and Carlos Norris. Those are my brother and sister-in-law, but they produce an awesome product. You can find this product at Dr. Jade MD. You can also follow me on Facebook at Ty Norris, The Lifestyle Store. Thank you for listening on tonight.